everybody. So for our persuasive speech assignment, I wanted to talk to you about something that kind of hits home with me. You've probably heard 1,000 of these speeches before. Why you need to put out cigarettes and do it now. As a nurse, I see the result of smoking for years and years all the time. And it's kind of scary. But to start our speech off and start off my campaign, as you could probably say, when I was a child, I went to a health fair. And one of the exercises they made us do was you had to do jumping jacks while breathing through a drinking straw to simulate what it would feel like during an asthma attack. Some of you probably have asthma. You know that feeling of feels like your airways are closing off. Well, smoking is one of the major causes of that in older people, as well as younger people who live around secondhand smoke. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever done jumping jacks or you have asthma, and you know that feeling of feeling like all your airways are this big, you don't like that feeling. It's an awful feeling, and you don't want to experience it again. Now, not everybody has that choice. Some people get COPD and asthma and emphysema and all kinds of respiratory diseases, and they've never smoked a day in their life and never been around anyone who does smoke. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. However, there's some people that they just don't care. They're going to light up their cigarettes and they're going to smoke day after day and pack after pack, and they don't really care what happens. Now, while we talk, I'm going to be running a little experiment. Let me show you. We're running a little experiment about what one cigarette can do to you. Now, while that runs, we'll do some talking. And at the end of it, we'll be able to show you what one cigarette puts into your lungs. So as a nurse, and through my career, I've seen people, some elderly, some not so much. A lot of them are as young as 30 and 40 years old. Those are the scary ones. They're admitted for things like respiratory failure. They've already got a long history of COPD and asthma, emphysema, and even some have started lung cancer. And they're in the hospital because of things that they've basically done to themselves. I don't want to see my family or my friends ever go through what my patients go through. And they're on ventilators and on a list of respiratory medications as long as my arm, inhalers and nebulizers and all of that, even on oxygen at home. I don't know about you, you probably don't want to see them do it either. So let's start off with some numbers. Numbers are something that kind of quantify problems so we can all see them realistically. Smoking tobacco products is the leading cause of death in the United States, according to the American Lung Association. It causes around 438,000 deaths every year. And secondhand smoke is also a serious problem because it actually leads to about 41,000 deaths annually. A lot of people think, oh, I go outside, I don't smoke in my house, I wash my hands after I'm done, and they don't realize that all of that residue sticks to their hair, their clothes, their nails, their teeth. Unless they go inside and take a shower, brush their teeth, and wash their hair, they're still going to have that tobacco and those nicotine and the products all over them. So they're still going to be spreading it to their family. This hits home with me because I have a lot of family members that smoke, and although it doesn't affect my personal health because I don't smoke, it affects my daughter's health, which is my priority. My daughter's grandmother smokes. She has multiple aunts and uncles that smoke, and her babysitter's family smokes. And while they go outside, like I said, they don't realize that it's still sticking to them. And, sometimes, it's just not even something that they care about, as much as I hate to say that. I can always tell a big difference in my daughter's behavior when she comes home from being around a lot of cigarette smoke, because she always acts like she feels bad. She's always congested, she's always got a runny nose, and she's always irritable. I can imagine why. So let's talk about some of the ingredients in cigarettes that one cause addiction and one cause all these health problems. Everybody knows there's nicotine in cigarettes. Okay, that's nothing new. It lasts about 40 minutes in the brain, and then its half-life, has elapsed. So with a moderate to heavy smoker, you're going to see them wanting to light up about every 45 minutes to an hour because the level of nicotine in their brain has been cut in half, and their brains want more and more and more and more. There's about 600 ingredients in one cigarette. When it's burned, cigarettes produce over 7,000 chemicals. Some of those are known carcinogens and identified carcinogens, which are cancer-causing ingredients. And I found a list, actually. We'll go over some of them. The scary thing that I did realize is when going through these ingredients, there's a lot of ingredients in cigarettes, just regular tobacco cigarettes, that are found in methamphetamine. So what's the difference between one and another? One's legal, one's taxed. But what's it doing to your body? You can take that and do what you will with it. One of the main ingredients found in both methamphetamine and cigarettes is acetone, which is a nail polish remover. Girls, you go and get your nails done. You have these hard acrylic nails, and then you're going to go home and light up a cigarette, which has the same chemical that breaks down that hard acrylic, which is basically like plastic. Why would you want to put that in your lungs? There's also acetic acid, which is found in hair dye, ammonia, which is also found in meth, which is, common household cleaner. There's arsenic, which is rat poison, butane, a lighter fluid chemical. There's chemicals that are found in rubber cement, battery acid, also known to be found in methamphetamine, formaldehyde, which we use to embalm dead things, lead, nicotine, of course, tar, which we use to make ropes. If all of these aren't enough, and you're still sitting here thinking, well, they just make these lists up, it's not really, there's not that much in it, there's chemicals and everything. Yeah, you're right, there are chemicals in everything, but you're putting chemicals in your lungs, which are extremely fragile air bubbles. That's what they do. Your lungs are made of thousands of air bubbles that exchange oxygen, and you want to put tar in there and coat them with tar and nail polish remover and battery acid, and then wonder why they don't work. I don't want to do that. I don't know why you would want to do that, but let's keep going. A new thing on the market is these electronic cigarettes, which are still considerably new. There are no FDA, Federal Drug Safety Administration restrictions for electronic cigarettes. There's no regulations. There's no safety checks. People can put anything they want into these electronic cigarettes and put them on the market for us to buy and say they're safe. And we have no way of saying, oh, well, so-and-so who checks everything against everything said, yeah, they are safe, so we can do it. No, they don't do that. So they're incredibly unsafe. However, being that there are no FDA checks, early studies on e-cigs are showing that they have some carcinogens, cancer-causing chemicals that are being used in traditional cigarettes. They're being added to the liquids that are put in the vaporizing chamber to create that water vapor, liquid vapor that people are smoking and thinking is safe. So if the chemicals and the health problems aren't enough, let's break it down to something that affects every single person in the world. Money. Let's do math. Okay, so one pack of cigarettes in 2016 is about $5. Could be a little bit less, a little bit more. Let's say you just smoke half a pack a day. You think, oh, I'm just a light smoker, I only pack half a pack a day. I'm good, right? Okay, so half a pack a day. That's $5 every 2 days. That is $18 a week. Let's keep going. Let's see. That's a little over $900 a year. Okay, let's bump it up. One pack a day. That's $35 a week, $140 a month, and $1,800 a year. I don't know about you, but I could pay bills with $140 a month, and that's only one pack of cigarettes a day. Keep going. 1.5 packs a day, $53 a week, $210 a month, and $2,500 a year. Even higher, 2 packs a day, which a lot of people in North Carolina smoke. They say, ask them in a doctor's office and they'll tell you they only smoke a pack, maybe a pack and a half. See them on the street, they're definitely smoking 2 packs a day. I say this because I have family members who do it, so I know from experience the answer they get in the doctor's office is not what they do. 2 packs a day, $70 a week, $280 a month, and $3,360 a year. What would you do with over $3,000? Because I know what I would do with it, and I guarantee it's not pick up something that is going to kill me down the road or kill my family or kill my daughter. So if the poisons and the death rates and the money aren't enough to convince you to quit, or better yet, never start, I don't really know what else I can tell you to convince you. I know that watching people you love on a ventilator is not something that anyone should ever have to experience, and let alone experience it because they couldn't put their cigarettes down. There are ways to quit. There are ways to get your family to quit. I've had friends to do it. I've convinced family to do it. I've helped my friends convince their family to do it. It's possible, and it's not as hard as it seems. They have to want it for themselves, but sometimes you need to give them that push. So, look at your friends, look at your family, look them in the eye, and then look at your pack of cigarettes and tell me they're not as important as 40 minutes of a nicotine high. Let's check out our experiment. Okay, so here's our bottle, you guys. Move it around. And what we've done is we've put 1 cigarette up here. Actually has gone out, so we'll relight it. No, you guys, I'm not a hypocrite. I don't smoke. This is for educational purposes. And we've got our 2-liter smoker. You guys, when the experiment's over, I want you to keep in mind this is just it's a light cigarette. It's not even your regular, full strength, I guess you could say. Alright, so we'll let this be enough for hours for our purposes. This is half a cigarette, and I've got some results from a full cigarette I'll show you. We're going to hold down a clear filter. You can see it. And blow that smoke right back out. Okay. So, we'll get our results. So if you account for the technical difficulties we had with that one, this is from 1 cigarette, blown back onto a clear piece of filter paper. That's what 1 cigarette is putting into your lungs. If that's what you want to put in your lungs and put about 25 times that per pack in your lungs, go for it. If you want to coat your lungs in about a cup of tar on regular intervals, go for it. But it's not going to be anyone's fault but your own when you can't breathe anymore, and you can't be around your family, and you can't do the things that your family wants to do. So, I hope this convinces you guys, because it's not worth it. Not even 1. Put your lighters down. Thanks for listening.